Okay, press our little timer, guys, if you would. Okay, so lesson 7.4, number 17. So I wrote out the problem and then the answer. So for the first couple, you were just either writing it as a radical, which is this, anything under a radical, or you were writing a radical as an exponent, right? So for number 17, 15 to the 1/2 power is the same thing as the square root of 15. Number 18, 24 to the 1/2 power is the same thing as the
square root of 24.
Square root of 24. Number 23, I have 2 times the square root of AB. So I have to write 2 times, put in a parenthesis, AB to the 1/2 power. If you don't group that in a parenthesis, you're going to have 2A. If you didn't put a parenthesis right here, you'd have 2A times the square root of B. Does that make sense? How many of you guys got that right? Awesome. You guys are amazing. Number 24, the square root of 3xyz is the same thing as parenthesis, 3xyz, close parenthesis, raised to the 1/2 power. Number 25, the third root of 8 is 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 equals 8. How are we doing so far?
Good.
Good? Okay. Number 26, I needed to find the fifth root of 1024. That equals 4. Number 31, the third root of 1331 is 11. Number 32, 64 to the 1/6 power equals 2. Number 35, 1 over 81 to the 1/4 power, which is the same thing as saying, and I'm going to write this up here just so you can see it. It's the same thing as saying the fourth root of 1 over 81. And there's something really cool that you can do with radicals. You can also write it like this. The fourth root of 1 over the fourth root of 81. You can split it. So 1 times 1 times 1 is just 1. And what number can I multiply by itself 3 times? Or 4 times?
3.
3. So you should get the number 1/3. Okay? Number 36, 3,125 divided by 32 to the 1/5 power, which is the same thing as saying the fifth root of 3,125 divided by the fifth root of 32. So I could have written it like this, 3,125 over the fifth root of 32. Well, 5 to the 5th power is 3,125, so the fifth root is 5 over 2. 5 over 2. How do we do on that?
Good.
Good. Does this make sense, how to trade the way that you write it versus this compared to it? Okay. Let me erase this really fast just so. Okay, number 41. 125 to the 4/3 power is the same thing as the third root. Remember, the denominator tells us the root. The third root of 125 to the 4th power, which equals 625. Number 42, 49 to the 5/2 power is the same thing as the square root of 49 to the 5th power. And you should have gotten 16,807. We good? Okay. Number 45, this was an exponential equation, right? Remember that that's when you have a variable as an exponent. So 3 to the x power equals 243. Remember we solved this in our notes yesterday by making sure that both of these have the same base. Then we can drop the bases. So 243 is the same thing as 3 to the 5th power. So I drop my bases. That means that x equals 5. Number 48. 27 to the x power equals 3. So I have to write 27 as a base of 3, which is 3 to the 3rd to the x power. So I just replace the 27 with 3 to the 3rd. And remember that 3 is to the 1 power. So then I have to distribute my power. So I have 3 to the 3x power equals 3 to the 1 power. Bases are the same. Drop them. 3x equals 1. X equals 1/3. How do we do on number 48? Thumbs up if you got it right. Okay, what did you guys get for that?
I got -3.
You got -3. How'd you get that?
Because I thought like you could rewrite 1/3 as -3.
The exponent -3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work, but don't do that. Okay. Number 51. 2 to the x minus 1 power equals 128, so I have to rewrite 128 as a base 2. That's 2 to the 7th. So I drop my bases. X minus 1 equals 7. Add 1 to both sides. X equals 8. The last one, number 50. Oh, sorry, not the last one. I have 3 more. Number 54. 9 to the 2x plus 3 power equals 2,187. I have to write both of these as a base 3. Did you guys get that? No? This one was tricky. Good job. Good job. This one was tricky. So I rewrite the 9 as 3 squared, and then I have to take 3 squared and raise it to this power. I rewrite the 2,187 as 3 to the 7th power. Then I distribute my power, so I end up with 3 to the 4x plus 6 equals 3 to the 7. Now my bases are the same. I can drop them. 4x plus 6 equals 7. Subtract 6 from both sides. 4x equals 1. X equals 1/4. Number 79, 2 to the 5x equals 8 to the 2x minus 4 power. Again, I have to rewrite 8 as a base 2. 8 is the same thing as 2 to the 3rd power, but then I'm going to have to distribute this power. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times 4 is 12. So I end up with 2 to the 5x power equals 2 to the 6x minus 12. Drop my bases. 5x equals 6x minus 12. Negative x equals negative 12. X equals 12. How are we doing?
Good.
Good? Okay. Number 81. 2 to the 4x equals 32 to the x plus 1. So I have to rewrite 32 as a power of, or as a base of what? 2. That's 2 to the 5th power, right? Distribute my power. Are you guys remembering to distribute your powers through? Okay. So 2 to the 5x plus 5. So 4x equals 5x plus 5. Subtract 5x from both sides. Negative x equals 5. X equals negative 5. Okay. How many questions did you guys have? I think there were 18. Okay, so minus 4 or less. Minus 4 or less. Awesome. Which were the ones that you missed the most of? The last 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make sense? Yes? Who got them all right? You got minus 0 on the whole assignment? Outstanding. Minus 0. Who else was my minus 0 kids? Good job, you guys. So what did you think about this? Better than what we've been doing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to pass out your notes. I'm going to stop our video.
Can I see number 51?
Yeah. There you go.